people stuck around watch the live. Oh, okay, cool. What the fuck?
Hey, look. Come on. Straggler, look alive!
Why my fucking gun is shooting so goddamn slow, bro? That's how you know these. I know a nigga got me fucking lying.
Okay, got it. Hunter, look up.
Careful now, it's a firefly!
Yeah, I like it. I like the little tune, the music it plays. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Now Metal Gear gonna kind of fuck up my playing skills on here a little bit. It's the fucking I'm thinking X is the crouch and shit. What the fuck? Nah, these niggas getting set on fire.
He's got a rifle over there! Careful now, it's a firefly!
I'm down!
These niggas suck, dog. And then look, first game I get back on, I get thrown in a room. These niggas trying to teabag and shit. Like that shit is not ever like funny. Like, come on, dog. And it'd be those players that some shit at the game though the whole time.
Let's smoke him out! Smoke! I'm hit!
Look at this shit. He's shooting through the smoke like that, dog. Okay.
Watch my back. Move back. Look alive.
God damn it, man. I keep. Oh no, man.
Smoke out.
I'm gonna have to get used to playing Last of Us again.
I'm down! I'm down!
Hold on, I can patch you up.
Fire in the hole. Help! Appreciate it.
I think that's what it was about the PlayStation. Once you install it, once you delete it and shit, you can get it right back. Yeah, dog. This shit's ridiculous, dog. Real talk though. I just like.
A couple days ago, I 100%ed Metal Gear Solid 5, which means it must have been doing something right. It may be the storytelling valley of the series, but it's easily the gameplay peak of the series, even though I was juggling so many conflicting impressions that I didn't really want to complete it after finishing the story. The places it went and the ways it went there left me so depressed that it felt like all the fun I had with it previously was somehow invalidated. The slog through Chapter 2 took the wind out of my sails, until a few days after trying to give it up, I loaded up the very first mission where you have to rescue Miller, and noticed that the extra objectives led me to a whole fleshed out little tutorial section right behind the start, and that was there the whole time, and I said, okay. I noticed that the guards were wearing shields and body armor. The truck driver turned into a high-value target, and I ended up going on a trip to the whole other side of the map to extract a barracks commander that had me doing the whole mission from the other angle, and that's when I said, this is totally happening. For my purposes, this wasn't even the same mission anymore. I mean, sure, it was the same mission, but the route I was taking was so drastically different that calling it the same mission feels like just a polite gesture. To 100% Metal Gear Solid 5, you gotta do all the secret objectives of every mission and S-rank them all too. And that's great. It's freaking amazing, actually. But you also have to do all the side ops and collect all the animals, which isn't great. Not at all. The process of reaching all 100 of those percents really sheds some light on what works and what doesn't, and why I was compelled to do it in the first place. It was mainly just because it plays so well. Despite being strapped up with weapons bigger than his own body mass, Snake controls so fast and responsively that I just couldn't let him go. Plus, an irrational devotion to the series had me playing past the point of genuinely fun returns, which ended around the time I finished everything there is to do in the main ops. But even then, for a game to spin this much value out of 50 scenarios is pretty impressive, even if it is really 38 scenarios, since 12 of them are replays anyway. And while it's weak storytelling,
What are you doing?
Metal Gear game, the value of the whole experience is what makes it one of the better, if not one of the best, stealth action games ever. That's what's important for these long-term experiences, is the value of every hour. And every hour has value because every second has actual numerical measurable value. Every action has consequences. And I'm not saying that in the exaggerated Witcher 3 review style of saying every action has consequences. If you stand in one place and swing your sword at nothing in The Witcher 3, it just plays the animation and wastes time, so what great consequences? If you stand in one place in MGS5 and shoot your gun at nothing, you're wasting precious ammo, which is funded by precious GMP, that is earned by precious soldiers whose investment in your ammo can go up or down depending on how you've been playing. Standing in one spot and actually doing nothing still yields consequences, in the sense that timer-based earnings and expenditures continue to tick away in the background, making some kind of gameplay happen even without you. I don't know exactly what number it is that defines a horribly exploitive, addictive timer-based mechanic, but cell phone games stretch this stuff far out to hours. But during the endgame of MGS5, I was finding that all these timers were still giving me some kind of helpful update about new stuff every 20 minutes or so, while I was still running through all the non-timer related goals. The resource farming system is actually activated by menu clicks and running over checkpoints instead of just raw time by itself. So, hands-on player input is actually what activates the little pop-up that reminds you of what was going on in the background without you. It's a system where almost every frame processed feels like they are contributing some kind of quantitative input for a vast metagame that keeps the value coming long after the story is complete, because the upgrade shop you're feeding those numbers into can only barely be explored after you roll those credits the first time. Bayonetta is an example of that. Playing the game again harder, better, and faster rewards you the stock of a seemingly endless upgrade shop that gives you new ways to play harder, better, and faster. After Episode 7, guards begin using defensive strategies in response to the player's own strategies, and this gets retroactively applied to previous missions as well, which is why guards in the very first missions act so different than they did the first time. Using dispatch missions to weaken the enemy sacrifices money that you could be using on more lucrative dispatch missions. The mission dispatch screen is MGS5's version of a difficulty select screen, as well as its extra objectives in the S ranks, which are required for the 100%. All of these options impose challenges that make the game harder on a strategic level that doesn't just involve flat increasing the amount of HP or damage enemies have. That whole concept of including a bunch of extra objectives for replaying levels is something I haven't seen since the Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, and Time Splitter shooters, and that's always been one of my favorite gimmicks for encouraging replayability, is the opportunity to see the same events from different perspectives with different intents and from different routes. After all, it is cheaper for the developer to make new ways to play old levels than it is to make new levels. And in MGS5's case, that creates new playstyles for old levels. Since the scoring system for the S ranks favors speed above all else, and since your knowledge of the level and its hidden objectives is mostly complete after the first run, 100%ing the game requires you to go through every mission probably 3 times. Once for the first time, second for the extra objectives, and third for the S rank. And each run forces a very different playstyle. Your first is improvisational and stunted as you feel out the lay of a map and learn as you go. The second is much more comprehensive. You gotta tackle this long list of weird things to do while knowing where to go and how to get them done. And the third, if you haven't gotten it by now, is that S rank, which must stand for speed and certainly not stealth. This time you're looking for the fastest route through, not the most immersive or
You see that like shitting on
and
me
so
again.
each run has you not just seeing what you missed, but also playing what you missed, giving you a reason to go stealthy and go loud. There's nothing arbitrary about the distinction between those two here. They're both necessary ways to complete the same levels. To S-rank Trader's Caravan in any kind of reasonable time frame, you're gonna want to race to the airport and escape the skulls as fast as possible. Alert speed damned. But the extra objectives require you to race to the airport completely undetected, to overhear 3 of this truck driver's conversations as he drives across half the entire map, and the whole time you can't get too close to the truck or stray too far from it. Having to overhear conversations is probably the only extra objective I didn't completely enjoy. The guard's AI bugs out for some reason if you're not within about 60 meters of them, in which case those conversations won't trigger even if your directional mic is still within earshot of them. Their scripts also tend to break at the slightest hint of suspicion, so not only do those extra challenges require perfect ghosting stealth, which isn't communicated to you in text, but they also require you to stay close at the same time. Overhearing these conversations was the hardest part of the game by far, because of the sheer amount of trial and error patience it involved. And on another level, even they show off just how fragile the storytelling in this Metal Gear is. Future story events are foreshadowed in those little overhearable conversations. Did you know that the legendary gunsmith actually is a character in there with at least a little bit of backstory? You probably didn't, because overhearing conversations is something that tends to only happen well into the later stages of missions, far past many opportunities you have to complete them faster and safer. But they provide a sorely needed diversity to MGS5's required duties, and I almost wish some of these optional objectives were the main objectives. In fact, I have a feeling they might have been at some point in development, but made the switch after the developers learned how easy it was to break the scripting that triggers them. And I'm also wondering if something happened during development to the side ops. Because seriously, what the hell happened to the side ops? Peace Walker's 130 extra ops sometimes had you defend a bridge or hold up a bunch of guards. And a lot of the extra ops came completely out of left field, like the dates with Paz and Kaz, the Monster Hunter bosses, and freaking ghost photography. And even though there were a lot of repeated boss battles and copy-pasted modular filler, it was a real problem, but the problem wasn't this bad. Phantom Pain's 150 side-ups are all almost exactly the same. Seriously, there is a slight degree of gradation between extracting the interpreters early on to eliminating the tank units later on. Because in both cases, you're going to want to extract everything anyway. They're always the same. Your objectives are spray-brushed in a circular pattern, and there's seemingly little thought given to their placement or positioning. The idea behind side-ups seems to be that they're laid-back little challenges that allow you to employ more laid-back, easygoing strategies until they begin to drag on and on past a curve of strategic decay that just goes on forever. This.
Oh man. Ooh, I'm really about to get to that point. I'll just fucking turn off the game, bro.
This is MGS5's version of the Bullet Sponge, a squad of 7 fully
You probably
armored
leave.
riot soldiers accompanied by a gunship you can't hide from and tanks that can one-shot you. And their AI doesn't play by the same rules as the AI in the main ops. They aren't affected by your dispatches, they don't radio in regional support, you can't even really opt out of old side ops since they stay stuck on the map. Because they're so under-designed, you really only have 2 cost-effective strategies against them, because you probably won't want to call in a bunch of expensive artillery strikes on every single one. You either painfully, slowly, perfect stealth your way through an open field without cover from one soldier to another, then the tanks, then the helicopter, or you painfully, slowly retry over and over again as you chip away at them with heavy gunfire until you win. Either way, they don't yield a substantial reward, they quickly end up repeating themselves, and they get old fast. I had way more fun replaying old missions than I did playing fresh new side ops for the first time, and you can bet that I never went back to them. Like, I'm never gonna go back and try to find this leopard tortoise again. I guess this is the part of the game that's supposed to be some kind of complex metaphor about the part of Moby Dick where it turns into encyclopedia, because otherwise I seriously can't think of why collecting animals is even a thing here. The animals are MGS5's version of the hidden package. They're useless collectibles hidden in places so obtuse you can't do it without a guide. And in fact, no, it's worse than hidden packages, because there are so many more extra steps involved. Fultoning sheep and donkeys away is hilarious, haha, that's great, but what's bullshit are the invisible creatures who apparently wander into these capture cages when you're not looking, and then get mailed back to your zoo when you're apparently not looking, because they don't even show up at your zoo. This whole process is...
Alright, there are scavengers in the area. Stick close and keep an eye out. Check.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It's up right there. I'm down! Sorry, I got you. Patch you up. I'm down! I owe you one.
Yeah, dog, I'm about to get out the fucking game.
I can't see. Hey, give me some help here.
No, this is like...
Patch you up.
None of these video games play like how they show it in the trailer, though. It's like niggas is able to do some shit that other niggas can't do. No, not everybody's on even grounds. It's like niggas, whoever got the shittiest internet has the advantage.
Okay, got it.
That's what I'm saying. Your cable bill's like fucking $300 to $400 and shit every fucking goddamn month. But a nigga can just, man, this game's stupid. Son.
I need a minute. That's one down.
Firefly, watch yourself!
Nah, I got the variable rifle.
I'm wounded.
So I'm thinking I'm playing Metal Gear Solid. So, god damn.
One down. Let's worry about it. Fuck out. I'm wounded.
Of course, dog. Oh, alright. I don't even know I can go back to playing The Last of Us, dog. Metal Gear Solid, fuck my fucking playing this shit, man. Yeah, it's like playing Metal Gear Solid, but it being fast paced, it's like I can't go back to playing this. I was playing the campaign so goddamn much and shit, but I was switching off. I was playing this shit still.
Scratch one. Down. One less to worry about. Finish.
Right,
Move out.
right, yeah. I'm pressing fucking circle to reload. Yeah, I think I might get back to Metal Gear. This is terrible. This is terrible. Oh my god. Hey, look, I'm trying to press square to dive out of the way from getting shot. That's fine.
I don't have long. Don't worry, I got you.
I got you.
Trying to dive out of getting shot. These niggas suck. Yeah.
Keep an eye out. Don't know if we can keep pushing much longer.
No.
Finish. Keep an eye out. Okay, got it.
Probably. That's probably where it is. Oh shit. I'll probably watch what's that channel we watch it? It'd be having that show Haunted.
I'm wounded. Right there.
Nah, that's not true.
One less hunter to worry about. Bombs armed, heads up. Ice.
One less straggler to worry about.
Lucky you got my back.
Really, dog? He got a headshot, dog, and nobody doesn't come back. Niggas are seriously stupid. I don't think team-based games are where it's at anymore, dog. It's not, cause it's just like it's too much you relying on your team instead of going out there by yourself. These motherfuckers are stupid. I think that's what changed online games, dog. That's what it was. All this stupid ass work as a team, you can win and all that stuff. Like, that's what fucked up the game.
Keep an eye out.
Okay, got it.
Cooperative games, that's different. That's like different. Like the Division and shit like that, that's gonna be good. But games like this, to me, they're irrelevant, dog. I don't really fucking like them anymore. Just cause
Smoke them out! Bombs on. Look alive.
oh my god, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. Fuck this.